Good morning everyone, welcome to Forti Friday. Today we're going to be looking at FortiCloud. My colleague Zach Waraka is going to do a demonstration, but to start off with, I'm going to do a few slides basically saying what FortiCloud is. There'll be more of a focus on the AP side, which that seems to be sort of like the most popular type of product to integrate into the cloud. So I hope you enjoy the slides and the demo, and if you've got any questions, we're more than happy to ask them at the end of the presentation. Okay, so FortiCloud was first released to retain traffic logs from the FortiGate. As you probably know, with the FortiGate you get the option to connect the FortiCloud, and then you can pass all your logs up to it, and then you can run a report on a weekly, monthly basis and so on and so forth to see what traffic has been passing out through your firewall and what threats have been picked up and so on and so forth. This has expanded somewhat and changed recently. The main differences are now that previously, when you bought a FortiCloud license, it was related to how many logs that you wanted to generate on a daily basis and how long you wanted to retain those logs for. Now the license is appliance-based, so essentially what you do is you purchase the license for the particular appliance you've got. So if you have, for example, a 60E, a FortiCloud license for analysis and reporting is cheaper than buying it for a 100E, simply because the FortiGuard network knows that if you've got a 60E, you'll be uploading less logs than if you've got a larger unit. So that cloud license basically allows you to log as much traffic as you want, and it will retain those logs for a 12-month period. Had a question a couple of weeks ago, and the question was, if I buy a 3-year FortiCloud license, does it retain 3 years of logs? Unfortunately not. It still only retains 12 months of data. Another option that's just been added to FortiCloud is a FortiCloud sandbox. Essentially it works in the same way as the analyzer FortiCloud option, whereas you buy the FortiCloud sandbox license depending on the type of appliance you've got. Fresh from out of the box, the FortiGate will automatically allow you to upload a maximum of 100 files to the sandbox on a daily basis. However, if you want to increase that number, then you need to buy the additional license on top of the FortiGate appliance. So all the FortiAP's configuration is now done through FortiCloud. You know, don't misunderstand me. You can still configure them via the Meraki access controller, or you can use the integrated option, so use the wireless LAN controller within the FortiGate device itself. You don't actually need FortiCloud access to be able to manage a FortiAP from. FortiCloud is a free option, so for example, if you've got a FortiGate out there at the moment and you want to manage it via the cloud, then you can do. You can create an account for free, and you just add your device into the FortiCloud. FortiCloud's offering is pushed towards small offices and branch offices and retail, etc. And also roaming is also supported in schools, medium offices. It all depends on your customer requirements. There is an MSSP option available where we can have multiple tenancy. However, being MSSP and generally MSP have multiple, many devices, is quite an expensive option to go for. So how do we connect a unit up to the FortiCloud? Well, essentially on every FortiAP that now gets delivered, it has a specific cloud key. So the cloud key is a number of it's a serial number sort of thing. So letters and numbers, you apply that to your cloud inventory, and it automatically registers the AP to the FortiCloud. If you have purchased a large number of APs, so a bulk a bulk purchase of FortiAPs. You can also buy what's called FortiDeploy. So FortiDeploy basically means that you pay an extra $100 per unit, and Fortinet will automatically register these devices for you. As soon as they can get connected to the network, they're automatically registered with the FortiCloud, so it prevents you from having to put in multiple FortiCloud keys on a per device basis. So as you can see here in the diagram, we can see that we've got a number of wireless access points, and we can also see where the FortiCloud key is displayed on the unit. The cloud key can be in two places. It can be on the back of the FortiAP, or when you actually purchase the big sticker on the front saying register this device as your FortiAP, your FortiCloud AP number key. So how does FortiCloud work? So essentially what happens is when we first connect the AP, it will pick up a DHCP address, and then it will start the discovery process to the FortiCloud. Once the connection is made, the AP will periodically poll the FortiCloud for updates. So for, let's say, we have already an SSID configured on our FortiCloud platform. The client then connects, and on exit, the AP traffic is then inspected. The AP can be connected in either bridge or NAT mode. There's a new type of, newish type of FortiAP called the FortiAP-S. This is designed to work with the FortiCloud and provide UTM functionality, so we can do things like AV, web filtering, application control, intrusion protection. So as you can see, a number of FortiAPs out there now. The FAP-U, this is the universal wireless access point. At the moment, it's for control use only, so the old Maru offering, and then there's going to be integrated in cloud in future releases. And then there's the old FortiAP. This was the AP, or this is the AP that you can connect to your FortiGate built-in wireless LAN controller, and now you also can connect these to the cloud. There's the FAP-S, which is the smart AP. This one we just mentioned, so it's integrated, and it can be also in the cloud, and it gives us the added functionality of being able to do web filtering, block botnets, AV, so on and so forth. And then there's the FAP-C, which is basically just cloud connectivity. So as you can see on this screenshot here, we've got our FAP-S. So as you can see, it mentions that it's only FAP-S series only, and we can do AV, IPS, botnet, web filtering, application control. And as you can see to the right of the diagram, we can see our usual web filtering categories that we're all used to from our FortiGate. So how do we log into the cloud? So as I said, anyone can create an account, and you can apply your FortiGate, FortiAPs, you can enable sandboxing, so on and so forth. So you can log in, you can create an account, and then there's two options for where you want that account to sit. This is purely for regulatory purposes. So we have North America, so obviously if you're in the North American region, then you would register your cloud AP with that area, and if you're in Europe, then you select the European area. This is going to expand over time, so it is going to become more geographically based. So, for example, if you're in the UK, there will be a UK DC that you will be able to register your FortiAP with, rather than using the generic European or North American. So what's coming in FortiCloud in the new version, which is going to be 3.1, they're going to bring into two-factor authentication, so that would use the standard Forti token. As I've just mentioned, the data center location and log collection, that's going to be based on geographic IP. Again, this is for regulatory compliance. And then also the firmware upgrade, this is going to change from Cat WAP to HTTPS. So obviously HTTPS is a lot faster. And then as you can see here, we've got an account that's been created, and we've enabled the two-factor authentication. So if somebody logs in with their account details, if the username and password is correct, then they get prompted for the 40 token code. So with regards to traffic and client reports, this is going to be upgraded in 3.1, so there'll be more information available to you. A little bit more detail than what you currently get from FortiGate. And then there's also the option of a FortiCloud premium account. So we can have intra-SSID privacy. It's a new option to block direct traffic between clients connected on the same SSID. We can have data rate selection, so we can disable lower rates to reduce sticky client effects, so on and so forth. We can also do web filter monitoring, so currently only block URLs and logs, but when the monitor is enabled, it means that we will log all URLs that are accessed by a specific end user. However, those options are only available on the F series because the F series is only one that does the actual UTM profiling. And then we've got the cross profile per SSID. So we can separate things like general data traffic and voice, do bandwidth limiter, so on and so forth. And then we've got the option of bonjour and bonjour relay and bonjour forwarding. So for example, if we have a guest VLAN on VLAN 200 and we want to do we want to be able to do multicast, so streaming media, we can do that. We can allow that traffic to pass between the two VLANs and keep it as secure as we possibly can. And then, as I mentioned earlier on, there is the MSSP offering, so we can have multiple customers handled from one single graphical user interface. Essentially, I suppose you could class it as a little bit like FortiManager, where you've got multiple FortiGates associated to a single pane of glass for ease of management. But we can do that on an AP level, a FortiGate level, so on and so forth. So what's free today? As today, basic FAT management will remain free. It allows us to create 30 days of logs and log retention. We've got the new AP management on the premium features from 3.1. They'll come under an enterprise license. And then this is all to be bundled within the FortiGuard services on the F-Series FortiAP, alongside a 1-year retention period for all our logging and FortiCare 8x5. And there's also one license for FAP-S and one license for FAP-C and FAP-Q. Okay, so I will let Zach take over now, and he will run through the FortiCloud. So I'll pass him over the screen.
Cool. Thank you, Chris. Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, I'm going to take you through a demo of FortiCloud on 3.1 and probably and touch on all the features Chris just spoke about, actually. So yeah, there's not much in the premium account side of things, and obviously I haven't got anything for 5.2. Okay. Okay. So Chris, is that broadcasting okay?
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
Cool. Thanks. Okay, so I don't know, so there's the option there whether you want to select Europe or North America, like Chris said. So the European data center is in Germany, and I can't remember where it is in North America, but it's in North America. And like Chris said, they're adding Japan and all of this at a later date. So if I log in, you'll see when it logs in, you'll see two options. You'll see the FortiCloud Wireless and the R200D, which is in our demo. So I'll just go through to our wireless. So on the screen here, not as much detail as Chris's statistics in his slides, but as you can see, it's the same monitor tab as Chris illustrated to us. So at the top, you've got your APs which are connected, you've got the bandwidth distribution, the bandwidth being used, so you can see here. No one likes to join my SSIDs in the office anymore because I tend to monitor people and they get funny, so unfortunately it's only me on there at the moment. So if I go, so I haven't pulled in the statistics from my phone, but you'll get websites, top attacks, top viruses, if you hit that sort of thing at the bottom there as well. If you go onto the client tab, should see me logged in. Yep, you can see my phone, you can see my signal strength, the AP I'm connected to, most of sound ratio, channel, all the usual statistics with clients and stuff like that. And road protection, which I don't think is enabled at the moment. I'll just remove that tag SSO, I don't have any road protection. But road protection here as well, so you can see SSIDs, the MAC address, the vendors, when it's detected, the strength of the signal and the channel it's running on. First seen and last seen, quite common road detection in 40 family. So I just wanted to show you the monitoring tab. There is a log tab and a report tab, which we're going to cover a bit later. But I want to go through the demo like Chris's slide, in that he started adding an AP and then moving on to configuration. So if we first go to deploy access point is where you enter your FortiCloud key, which is on the bottom or the top of the AP. If you're buying something like 5 or 10 access points, you can just add this manually. And as you click through, you can then assign them to a different tag. So if it's a multiple customers you have, for example, where you've got multiple offices, you can give them a tag saying HQ or, I don't know, Dorset or something like that. You can add them to a different folder as well. So as if you're adding the AP manually. If you're going to use the FortiDeploy, as Chris mentioned on the slide, it's in infantry and you hit import bulk key. So the bulk key is only available per an order. So each SO, if you're looking to import the APs, it has to be per an SO basis. But typically it's around $100 or £100 to do this. And I'll be honest, if there's 50, 60 access points, it's probably going to save time and money in the long run getting the bulk. So now the APs are onboarded, I'll go back to my wireless configuration. You'll see the AP come up in the access points on the left-hand side here. You see I've got my group EXN devices. You've got the APs in list form, like I say. If you click on the access point, it gives you a breakdown. So you've got the OS version it's running, you've got what channels it's on, its IP address, so forth, MAC address, throughput, gigabytes, noise. You've got all your statistics right here for that access point. So you can do that on every access point. Cool. So we've added the access point using FortiKey or FortiDeploy. We've now seen the access point come up. Like Chris said in his demo once again, all you need to do is plug the access point in. It will pick up the HCP address, and as long as it's got internet access, it will talk straight to the FortiCloud, and the FortiCloud will pick it up and direct it to your account. And then, obviously, you get the status of up or down if it's not available. So we've got our AP. We're now going to go through the configuration to configure the SSID for the AP. I'll start a new one for this. Give the SSID a name, so we'll say FortiFriday. You can choose to enable the SSID, disable the SSID, or broadcast, or it's hidden. You've got 3 authentication options. You've got Open SSID, which is no authentication, obviously, PSK, such as password, and Enterprise, which is the radius. So we've got our radius servers here. We've got a DC and a FAC in our demo environment as well. So as with FortiCloud, it's not tunneled to FortiCloud. The traffic's not sent off, or it's only a manager. It's a form of managing the access point. So this DC and this FAC is local to our environment. So you add the local environment to the authentication process. And you've got NAT, so everything's natted behind that access point, and you've got bridge. So that, say there's a DHCP server on that VLAN or on that network, everything will just drop on the wire and be allowed through. And with the enterprise licenses, you've got the advanced features here. So you can block inner traffic for SSID, so you can block traffic sometimes. You can use dynamic VLANs. So dynamic VLANs is like receiving a radius attribute from your radius authentication and dropping them in a particular VLAN. And you've got some pretty advanced stuff with the wireless, so you can choose your spatial stream, data rates and stuff like that. And the idea of this is to really help stop sticky clients, because the device itself makes a decision on which access point it's going to connect to. Sometimes what you find is as you're walking further away from that access point, even though you're near, closer to another one, the device itself will prefer that access point, which actually, while we're talking about that, is how infrastructure can really help with this, because it's a single layer architecture. So the client doesn't choose which AP it connects to, the APs decide which access point it's going to put the client on. So it really gets rid of that roaming problem. So it's one of the big upselling points, I think, of infrastructure. I mean, it is a controller, and like APs, like most people, but there's so many features on there which can really help the environment and density and stuff like that as well. But anyway, so for FortiCloud, obviously you haven't got a single layer architecture, so one of the ways that you can counteract this is by removing the lower data rates, so that clients go, oh, actually, I need to move, or forces the client to move because of the data rate. So just quickly continue this, put a password in. I'll move on to the next screen where we choose the security. So this is relevant only to FAP-S. So the FAP-C is more of an entry-level device, so just for connectivity. Probably the best area to put a FAP-C would be something like a hotel where you're looking for a wide signal broadcast, but you're typically not going to have many clients connecting to that access point. So it's aimed really at about 50 clients per an access point. And then FortiAPs, which belong to the FortiOS, integrated, sorry, is integrate related, also connects to FortiCloud, but this can't provide UTM either. And the FAP-U, I'm not sure, it's a really powerful access point. I'm not sure why they're not going down the MT and UTM route just yet with the FAP-U, but I can see them doing this in the future because of the amount of hardware they've packed into it. I can see that being able to do UTM, but as Chris said in his slides, it's upcoming. I think the FAP-U might be supported in 5.6, but I'm not entirely sure. I've asked the guys on FortiCloud when it's going to be available in FortiCloud, and there's no date yet. Okay, so FAP-S, very powerful access point. It's the access point which does the UTM. So the antivirus, the intrusion prevention, and botnet are all tick boxes. So you just enable the UTM. Web filter and access opens down a little bit, so you can be a little bit more custom with the categories if you want to. So you can block, monitor, allow, or you can use the G rating. So you've got G, PG 13 or R rated, and if you hit advanced, you can then say to monitor, block, or allow. Currently at this stage you can only block, so you only see blocked URLs. But with the license, you'll be able to monitor the URLs as well, so you can see the different websites people are going to. And the same with the application control. So it's just block, monitor, and allow all the different applications. So these are the applications by default that are seen. Hit the little plus button down the bottom here. You can decide to add another application to monitor as well. So how this works on the FAP-S is that the client communicates to the access point. The access point then does the UTM processing before it hits the wire. So basically, every access point is a UTM device with the FAP-S. Sorry, so that's everything in the security element. Just moving on, there's the availability. So you can make radios available at certain times of the day. So in a guest network, typically 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock is going to be enough. You might not want to broadcast at the weekend or in the evening because you don't have guests. And you can choose whether they're broadcast from the 2.4 or 5 gigahertz as well. We click next, we get a little preview of the changes I just made. Hit apply, and then you get the SSID built. So here's our FortiFriday SSID. Here's a free SSIDs I created previously. And then using the AP tags, you can assign the SSID to a tag. Sorry, I should show you that actually. It's in the first section here. Yeah, sorry, they've moved it. Basically, when you create a SSID, you can select which tag you want it to be included in. And then when you add the access point, you tie that access point into a tag. So only some access points are seeing the SSIDs. So if you've got like 10 SSIDs, you might have 10 different customers, and you can have 10 different SSIDs. That's really what I'm getting at there. And then the module relay, you just need to tick to enable if you've got the license, and then start adding the VLANs and the direction that you want to allow it. You've got services down here, so you can have all services. We can be really particular about which services are allowed to talk from your guest to your employee network. Or should I say your service network, you probably wouldn't be allowed to allow a guest through to employee. So if you've got a service VLAN, you can then use a service VLAN for bonjour services as such. And FortiPresence is the last in the configuration. So FortiPresence is the analytical program. So it's a separate GUI entirely. The idea of FortiPresence is that you're able to see people's movement, and they don't have to be connected to the wireless. It picks up their broadcast, so we'll see them trying to connect to certain networks as they walk through the building, the mall, or wherever. So FortiCloud is really aimed at distributed networks, so where you've got lots of branch offices and stuff like that. But with these new features, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't sit in like a small or medium or even a large office, or even like a mall, for example, a shopping centre. I'd be able to cope with that perfectly. I have asked the Fortinet SCs for any limitations on maximum APs in the environment, and there's no limitation within FortiCloud, and they haven't got a fixed number for a limitation on a network. So it's very scalable. It's just that because they've got free wireless vendors with the free wireless product, they've got FortiCloud integrated and infrastructure. They try and move and target the relevant customer. I would probably have a conversation with the customer, see what they're looking for, whether they're looking for a controller base, whether they're happy with a distributed base, and then recommend that particular product. So anyway, as I say, FortiPresence, great for analytical. It is a separate license, and we would probably run a separate demo in the future with FortiCloud and FortiPresence and all working together to show you how it works. Unfortunately, I don't have access to one at the moment. Cool, so that's the configuration. Once the configuration's done, you've got your clients connected, and you're going to start getting logs. So you've got wireless log information, you've got antivirus information, botnets, IPS, web and application control. Just a nice little real, like a live feed, should I say. You've also got your reports where you can schedule reports to be sent off daily. So it's a daily report on what's going on with your trainings and stuff. So you can see here that I've only been the active one in the last few days. But, so you can send this off daily, you can send this off weekly, you can send this off monthly as well. And you can change the view, whether you want to look at the last 60 minutes and so forth. You can see much nicer bumps in the traffic flow there. And the last piece of the demo really is PCI Compliance. So you can run a PCI report on your network. So you can tick these boxes, which one you want to run it against. So if I just tick a few of these and then run a report, you can see I failed the compliance for DSS version 3, and it gives the recommendations for fix. So it's a nice little PCI compliance feature in that, probably maybe for a POC, definitely for a POC over the production, in that if you sell a FortiClient at a customer site, you can run a PCI compliance on the current environment or how they wanted it set up, and you can make security recommendations based on that. Cool. So yeah, that's actually it for FortiClient for the live demo. It's very easy to set up. There's not too much in there's plenty of configuration, but it's not too difficult to configure. So I hope that's been helpful. Any questions, please let us know. I'll stay on the call for a few more minutes. Thank you for your time today. Have a good weekend.
Okay, guys, if no one's got any questions for either myself or Zach, we'll bring the meeting to a close. Thank you all for joining this morning, and we look forward to seeing you on our... oh, we've got a question. Okay. So, Dean, can you elaborate on your question? It's
yeah, please. Speed do you have over them in the sense of latency, or are you talking about like wave 2 and stuff like that? Okay, cool. So Dean's asking what Fortinet have to offer over latency to Cisco. With any smart AP, there is going to be latency if you're not using something like a controller. So it's a very difficult question to answer because I don't know the exact answer, but I will say that the FortiAPS, they have really wrapped up the CPU and RAM on that device. So really, it's a really powerful access point, and the same with the FAPU. So the latency is pretty, I'd say, pretty good. Moving forward with the integrated latency, it goes straight to the FortiGate. So like any controller, there'll be latency in that. And because the FortiGate specs the UTM, you know, it's going to do the UTM on there. I don't know how Cisco do their UTM, to be honest, but definitely when you move on to the controller side of things, like the infrastructure, the Maru, ex-Maru, the latency is pretty damn good. Sorry, I can't really answer that question straight off. Meraki, okay. Okay, sorry guys, just a quick question. So we've had a question about Cisco Meraki AP versus FortiAP Cloud, any advice? So were you looking for more of a battle card or anything that it's got over Meraki? The clear runner for me in any deployment with Fortinet is UTM. No one else out there does UTM on an access point without having to get some other device like a firewall to take over the process. But Fortinet have got the ability on both the integrated and the cloud to perform UTM. So for me, if we're rather than going down the route of saying, oh, it's a couple of milliseconds faster and stuff like that, UTM is key to their environment. I haven't seen the Meraki interface, so I can't comment on how that works. But hopefully, if you have, hopefully from what I've shown you today on the FortiCloud itself, you've got a general idea on how quickly it is to figure. VLAN tagging is supported on the access point, so if there are VLANs in the network, you can trunk traffic as well. So if there's anything in particular about Meraki or that you need answering, just let me know. But biggest thing for me is the UTM feature. Yeah, sure. So the customer's talking about some hands-on, getting some hands-on. Of course, talk to your account manager here. We're more than happy to help you with hands-on. I mean, by all means, jump onto FortiCloud and create yourself your own account and have a look around. If you've got a FortiAP, you'll be able to link it up with the cloud. If you've got a FortiAPS, brilliant. If you haven't, talk to your account manager again. Talk about what's it called, NFR kit. Get yourself maybe even a loan, and then if you want any assistance, please just contact your account manager, and we'll be more than happy to sit and go on a one-to-one on a demo on FortiCloud to really maximise your understanding of it for when you talk to your customers, of course. Cool, thanks. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for the feedback on that. Yeah, well, we try and be as transparent as possible. The FortiAPs they've got their own product matrix, and if you look at you got the product matrix for the FortiWiFi as well, and you've got the product matrix for the individual APs, where they actually even recommend how many clients should be on that AP. So I hope if you just Google FortiAP product matrix, it's all there as well. So thanks for the feedback.
Okay, guys, if there's no more questions, I'm going to bring this into once again. Thanks for joining, and thanks for the questions. We don't usually get many questions, but it's good to hear from you guys. If you need any more information on FortiCloud, FortiAPs, FortiGate, etc., then please feel free to contact us via your account manager or contact us directly. Once again, thanks very much.
Thank you.
He's a big man, like he could see through with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you got to check. I don't think he's gonna come here
Oh, by the way, because I'm gonna leave for now, yeah. And then because you know, I'm gonna have to go to a friend. So yeah, because obviously I'm not. By the way, these keys are they're no good.
I know that they won't. I've got much more experience than me.
Cisco.
And no, but I'm saying
You might have other experiences of the obviously.
no, but yeah, but I mean, both got people to teach about.
Yeah.
I've probably got life experience. You've got technical experience. You've got life experience. I might have some technical experience. The only way you're gonna grow is if you work together. Yeah.
No, I was just thinking. We know those questions because I was thinking I don't know what else to think.
But that's what I'm saying.
I should have thought. Because I'm thinking like no, because what I'm thinking is from we sell products.
Yeah.
What kind of questions are they going to ask us with about Fortinet? That's why I was asking questions like because
the best way to do that.
Because I was saying because that's why I asked for the matrix.
Yeah.
I said I can't find a Cisco matrix, but I can find you guys are much more transparent with that. Your pricing wise, yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna log out of this thing, man. I need to log out. Waiting to. You have a link for technical training. You have a link for technical training. What? Alright, that's what I was asking for Fortinet training? Okay, yeah. Exclusive one sales and one technical. You know the sales training and the technical training?
Yeah.
Do you know which, the link to those? Do you have that?
It should be in your email.
Yeah, that's, yeah, it should be in the email. Because